welcome to my channel. Dito tayo sa studio ni Toto, CNN. Yan. Okay guys.
Hindi mo ako, itig ko lang bag ko.
Sige. Dito lang ako?
Oo,
sige.
Lagyan ko sa baboto.
Alright. Okay guys, so dito muna tayo ngayon Sunday. So good morning sa lahat. So manunood tayo ng live NBA. Yan. So ito yung trabaho ni Joey. Yan. Andito po ako ngayon sa CNN. Okay. Yan guys. Okay guys. Ayan po ang kanilang studio ni Toto. Ayan, dito siya magko-cover ng NBA Live. Alright. Isang magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Dito mapat.
Dito pala sila nag-uusap yung nagka-ano. Ayan guys, so inaayos lang niya yung ilaw para mamaya sa mga anchor kapag kinukunan niya na ng live. So mapapansin nyo yung mga nagsasalita sa TV after ng game. Ayan, dito yun guys. Ayan. Yun o. Ang ganda ng TV dito, liwanag. Remote din siya, oh. Nagbabago-bago yung kulay. Ayos ah. High-tech. Ngayon pala ako nakapasok sa ganito studio.
Dami dito. Dami dito. Dami yung tao.
Pagka yung hindi Sunday.
Oo, dami.
Ano yung mga tao na yon?
Yan.
Mga empleyado?
Tsaka mga bisita.
Mga bisita? Ayan guys, so nakarating din ako dito sa CNN Philippines. Yun.
On the road.
Grabe mga referee, dito nagkita.
9 daw pala. Embiid returned from 9-game absence no Thursday.
Best.
Sige.
Province.
And ano ba ito nito, coach?
Defensa.
Hindi lumamang Boston. Ano na?
There are 2 points. First
Sige.
May lang ako. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Sports Desk Weekend only on CNN Philippines. I'm ANDREI, FELIX, and you just saw that entertaining game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. The Celtics prevailing against the Sixers. Jaylen Brown leading the way, leading the Celtics in a blowout win against Philadelphia, 116-95. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here. Jaylen Brown, again, the player of the game. Starting out strong, and then also Jason Tatum without Kemba Walker, with that knee injury, sitting this one out. Joel Embiid, third game back after sitting out 9 games for the Sixers, with great defense all throughout the game for the Boston Celtics. Here's Tatum knocking down the 3 there, and then Jason Tatum just going off in that first quarter, going all the way to the hole. And then it's been really Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading the way for Boston. Tatum finishing with 25 points in 29 minutes. Jaylen Brown, 32 points, 9 rebounds, also with 2 steals and an assist. There's Marcus Smart starting to replace Kemba Walker. He had 16 points for Smart, 2 steals in this game. But again, Tatum, Brown, and company, 5 players in double figures for Boston, with Semi Ojeleye and Brad Wanamaker scoring 11 and 15 off the bench respectively. And we break down this game between the Celtics and the Sixers with none other than PBA legend, Sports S basketball analyst, one and only Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. Happy Sunday, Coach.
Same to you, Andre.
I was, but not necessarily. It's very beautiful. I should.
Best ever.
I think I should go there. No, to relax soon. Okay, Coach. What happened here? Your thoughts? We were watching the game. It was Boston playing solid defense. I asked you earlier before we started the show, and you know, hindi nakapitalize ng Sixers yung wala naman Kemba Walker, but still Boston prevailing here in a big margin.
Well, previous to this match, I was really concerned about Boston. They didn't have Cantor for 2 consecutive games, and they scratched Kemba Walker from the starting unit, but hindi makakapaglaro for 2 games. But then, the defense of the Boston Celtics just threw it.
Can pull this through, you know, holding the fort down, still without a guy like Kemba Walker, who's their all-star.
There is a reason why Boston has always been in the playoffs in the last few years. It's because of the genius of Brad Stevens. With superstars, without key players, he has that ability to inspire and provide the necessary navigation for his players to be able to always perform well. At alam mo, mga defensive teams, eventually Boston is of the Sixers, and that is their offense. Only 6 3-point baskets in the entire game. Will not hit a 3-point basket till midway in the second quarter.
Good afternoon, you're still watching Sports Test Weekend only here on CNN Philippines. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andrei Felix. Now aside, again, in case you just tuned in, we just aired that Boston Celtics game taking on the Philadelphia 76ers at Boston. Before the game, there was a little tribute for Kobe Bryant. They were missing the services of M. Scatter and Kemba Walker in this one. Final score 116-95. Jaylen Brown tallying 32 points, 9 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and Jason Tatum as well, scoring 24 points. Here are some of the highlights. There's Brown just really feeling it. He felt he was an all-star, but it's just Jason Tatum. Gordon Hayward only top scoring for the Clips, 31 points, 6 boards, 52-85. Marcus Morris led the way for the Knicks with 28. Out of the University of Texas, 139-111 here win for New Orleans. At 7, we go to H-Town, 2 Texas teams colliding. Mavs and Rockets, Russell Westbrook up and away for the rack attack here. Westbrook with 32 points, 6 boards, 9 assists in the win against the Mavs. Back in Brooklyn at number 6, after just scoring, Aileen Kyrie gets a steal, and then to end the first half, knocking down the 3. He was perfect 10 of 10 from the field in the first half. Irving scoring 54 markers as the Nets beat the Bulls. We go to LA at 5. This game we aired yesterday on CNN Philippines. Damian win in LA. Back to Nola at number 4. Drew Holiday throwing it up to Zion Williamson. Now, Coach, if you have Zion Williamson as your teammate, ibato mo lang. You won't get it anywhere in the rain. At number 3, back to Brooklyn this time. Garrett Temple all the way for that ferocious finish. Temple with 11 points in the win against the Bulls, dunking on Cristiano Felicio. More lobs in New Orleans. At number 2, this time, Dylan Brooks to John Morant for the Jam. Morant finishing with 16 points in the loss to the Pels. Back at number 1, Detroit Raptors and Pistons. How about Norman Powell elevating, detonating, destroying Andre Drummond. Powell 12 points in that win, 105-92. It's been an emotional week in the NBA, of course, with Kobe Bryant's tragic death, along with his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others in that helicopter crash and almost a week ago. And in a few minutes, CNN Philippines will honor the late, great Black Mamba Kobe Bryant by airing his final NBA game. The Black Mamba saving one of his best games for last, scoring a whopping 60 points to lead the LA Lakers past the Utah Jazz. That was way back April 13, 2016, and we still have here with us Sports Desk basketball analyst Ronnie Magsanoc. Let's tell us more about that epic, historic game. What a way to end your career. 20 years in the NBA with one franchise, Kobe Bryant. Back in April 13, 2016, Coach. First of all, where were you when Kobe scored 60 that game?
That was 2 days after my birthday, and I did not work that game, but watching and also being amazed by what.
Did you expect that he would score 60? Because, you know, we saw videos, I mean, Shaquille O'Neal's former teammate, he was challenging Kobe to score 50, gumuha ng 60.
I expected him to score a lot, pero hindi naman 60 because I believe in that season, yung 20-point game na tatlo na lang.
Let's go. Look at Snoop Dogg and Johnny.
May panalo niya to. He had 37 at the end of the third, 23 in the fourth, and he scored 17 straight points at one instance. Si Gordon Hayward ang bumabantay sa kanya.
That's right. Coach, eto, watching this kind of game from definitely a future Hall of Famer, Kobe Bryant, what makes this performance so significant? And yung imprint niya na itatak niya talaga sa LA, sa NBA, with this performance, scoring 60 in your final game.
I think this is just a statement as to the kind of legacy that they want you to remember for. That at any given time, at any age, he will compete. He will compete to win. And he will prepare himself not just for a good farewell game, but for immortality. And I think even to the day that he passed away, kalimutan mo yung pamilya mo. Pero dito, he made sure that he was able to make the necessary bonding time between his wife and the rest of their group. And alam ko, it was never enough. But still, we saw what kind of great father he also is, aside from the great ball player that he was in over 2 decades.
Coach, and more than being a father of daughters as well. Again, Coach, thank you for being with us here on Sunday. That wraps up our show. I should, Coach. Again, we just had Sports Desk basketball analyst, female legend, one and only Coach Ronnie Magsanoc, and that's all we have for today. Don't worry, more sports stories will come your way. Tomorrow, you can catch Sports Desk at 10:30 a.m. and at 10 p.m. I'm Andrei, Felix, and again, we will leave you. Here's the last game of the late great Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba. He scored 60 points back in April 13, 2016 against the Utah Jazz. Let's watch again.